We are now open for business. This is Cesar Vallejos bringing you yet another episode to guide you in discovering your passion and growing your business as we learn from experts in the field. Sama-sama tayong matuto sa isa na namang makabuluhang usapan tungo sa pagpapaunlad ng inyong negosyo. Ang Open for Business ay mapapanood nyo rin sa Facebook at YouTube. Siguraduhin mag-like at mag-subscribe sa aming social media page at Net25TV. Alamin natin, suriin mula sa mga negosyante, thought leaders at mga personalidad sa iba't ibang larangan ang mga strategies, trends at mahahalagang karanasan sa pagninegosyo dahil tayo ay Open for Business. With a generation born and raised on mobile phones and tablets and other gadgets, do they still consume published materials? We sit down with engineer Grace Bondad Nicolas, co-founder and chief operating officer of Tag Media Group, to ask whether magazines still matter and the business sense in going on despite the popularity of digital media.
It's different niches as I mentioned. So, depends on your target clients, dun ka. Those niche market still want something that they like to hold or to keep. Of course, there's prestige, it's collectible.
I'm Jamie Harrell bringing you business news and information here on Open for Business. Retail prices in Metro Manila accelerated in November to 1.4% from 1.3% in October, owed to higher food commodity prices. Preliminary data from the Philippine Statistics Authority, also known as the PSA, showed. The General Retail Price Index, an indicator for retail trade and business, measures changes in prices at which retailers sell their goods to consumers compared to a base year. Other higher movements in prices were seen in three more commodity groups. Now, in other business news, the national government's budget deficit contracted anew by 26.02% to 157.6 billion pesos in November from 213 billion pesos in the same month a year ago, data from the Bureau of the Treasury showed. The budget deficit stood at 1.26 trillion from January to November. Government spending slowed down by 9.61% to 498.3 billion pesos. That's a reversal to the 11.2 billion peso surplus in October. Total revenues to date reached nearly 4.15 trillion pesos as expenditures surged by 2.49% to 5.4 trillion pesos. The Bangko Sentral ng Pilipinas now requires all retail payment systems to adopt the global standard ISO 20022 to pave the way for a more efficient process for domestic and cross-border retail payments. In its Circular 1223, participants are given 2 years from the effectivity of the issuance to achieve full compliance through a phased implementation. According to the BSP, an ISO 222 Harmonization Industry Project team has already been formed to help in the implementation of the new rule. The new rule is based on the guidelines set by the Bank for International Settlements Committee on Payments and Market Infrastructures, the BSP added. Now, online businesses have more time to voluntarily register for the e-commerce Philippine Trustmark as the Department of Trade and Industry, also known as DTI, extended the deadline until the 31st of December 2026, giving them ample time to secure the certification. Now, according to DTI Secretary Cristina Roque, about 18,400 businesses have applied for the Trustmark. She reiterated that the Trustmark is not a regulation, but a tool that shields legitimate enterprises from scammers. DTI originally set the voluntary Trustmark registration deadline last September 30, 2025, but extended due to rising clamor from businesses. And that's the business roundup for this week. I'm Jamie Harrell for Open for Business.
pagkain, siguradong may kwento. Lalo na ang mga ipinamana pa at inabot na ng dekada-dekada. Namnamin ang lasa ng mga pagkain may nakabubusog na kwento. Isa-serve na ang Savoring Stories sa LTE. Love, Tony Pet and Everything. Monday to Friday, 7 a.m. sa Net 25.
Print in the Philippines is smaller than it used to be, but far from extinct. Readership and routine newspaper consumption have fallen in recent years as Filipinos shift to digital platforms. Yet print remains a meaningful business and cultural asset in specific niches like lifestyle, luxury, collector's editions, and even local community papers. Recent surveys and industry studies show falling general readership and growing digital ad spend, while the commercial printing sector and selective magazine launches show continued demand for physical print products in premium and targeted markets. Here to tell us more if print media is still relevant as a reading material and business, please welcome Engineer Grace Bondad Nicolas. She's the co-founder and COO of Tag Media Group that publishes 4 to 5 lifestyle magazines: Rising Tigers, In Charge, Top News Asia, and 2 other magazines or titles that she will announce later. How are you, Grace?
Okay, thank you so much, of course, CRV, for inviting me here. It's my second time and always overwhelming.
Okay. Grace, I remember the first time that we've met and you guested here in Open for Business. I think that was 6 years ago. So, ang tagal na kasi year 6 na ang Open for Business. And you were talking about events management back then.
And digital marketing.
And digital marketing. So far, what happened between that guesting and now? I know there's a lot of things, but maybe in a nutshell, you can give us also your journey within that span of time.
Well, 6 years ago, we did a lot of activities and projects. So we produce also concerts, and then we produce a lot of shows. And recently, since 2021, we have publications. So we publish na this time. And we're very, very happy with the acceptance of the readers.
Wow, that's great to know. And yes, Grace, I'd like to thank you because you are one of the first sets of guests here in Open for Business, and we're now celebrating year 6. And great to know that you are now featured on a different, let's say, different classification or different category in terms of business and entrepreneurship. So yun nga yung napag-uusapan natin. My introduction earlier was very interesting because a lot of people are really shifting towards digital. And here you are introducing not 1, not 2, not 3, and later on is going to be 5 print titles. You own about 4 print titles in other businesses. How do you split your time and why you continue to invest in print?
With regards to time management, first thing, I'm an industrial engineer and also had a master's in engineering management. So
Okay.
time management is really what I am doing since then. So it's actually hiring also good people. Delegate, delegate, and delegate. As I mentioned to everyone, usually the COO or the CEO, yes or no or suggestion nyo lang yan, i-approve. So for the people with us, they're the one really thinking on the execution. For me, it's all about direction. I saw already my skills. It's really the direction for the company. And then those people with me who I mentioned very, very good, they know already what to do. They're the one executing everything. And also, it's a family business. So my husband is the CEO and then my daughter is the CMO. They're doing their roles.
You mentioned about this as a family business. Of course, you came also from corporate. What made you shift?
Actually, it's a very, very good story. Yeah, from the corporate, but I grew up in an entrepreneurial mindset na family. So my mother was a kindergarten teacher for 15 years, but my father from farming, kasi they own some part of land, became entrepreneur. So for 21 years, they own a construction company. But since I'm the eldest, so ako yung nagmamanage at the same time, having my own also construction company. Pero ako pa rin yung parang pinaka-lead. I have two sisters, they're also involved. But after they got married, naiba rin yung kanilang focus. I have my own company, but then I applied also for some consultancy. I became employed also at the same time, learning also on how to be part of the big corporation. And I think you know some of the corporations. They became part also of my company now. So the shifting, well, it's really not that hard kasi I'm used to it already. And those companies that I've been with before, they became my partners. So they're very, very helpful, and they became also my mentors. I think it's really those people surrounding you that will make you. I believe that it's not just one person who will make it successful. It's always about those people with you, those good people with you.
Going back to our topic, I asked, is sprint dead? We saw this research that says readership is declining overall. The 2023 National Readership Survey and related studies report steady declines in routine reading of newspapers and printed materials across many age groups. And ad budgets have shifted strongly towards digital advertising. Spent in the Philippines has grown rapidly, pulling marketing dollars away from traditional print. And this changes the revenue mix for publishers. What's your take on that data, Miss Grace?
We all know since 2009, di ba, that social media really is thriving. And then if we're going to discuss about statistics, 75% of Filipinos are in social media. So if we are like 100 million, so that's 75 million Filipinos in social media. So for me, one of the things, if you really like to reach more people, of course, it's social media, it's online marketing. Not only Facebook, we have also LinkedIn, Twitter, and also Instagram. But it belongs to different niches. If you're on LinkedIn, ito yung mga corporate.
Yes.
Diba? And then if you're on, that's right, more on SMEs on Facebook, but more on content creators in Instagram. While on Twitter, based on my experience, more on advocacies. I am actually with those accounts. I am very, very much active. But then again, it's different niches as I mentioned. So, depends on your target clients, dun ka. Right? If it is about advocacy, well, Facebook can be there also, especially with the small and medium enterprises. Marami with the social media marketing for the SMEs on Facebook. Diba? But if you're going to do that on Instagram, depends pa rin kung sino yung target niche mo. Kasi we have bracket also, like, would say, if your income is like 30,000 up to 50,000, you must be on Facebook. But if you are on Twitter, it's all about advocacy. You cannot sell anything on Twitter.
It's your voice.
It's proven to me.
It's your advocacy itself.
It's proven to me kasi I use that for advocacy, and people really are gonna help you. But of course, it depends also on your followers, diba? And those people that you are following. With regards to, again, social media, for everyone, you need to be there. It's like this. If you're going to check also Google, and if I Google CRV or Cesar Vallejos and you're not there, you're not existing.
Exactly.
It's like, he's a scam. Diba?
So they have to check you online, to make sure that you are in existence.
Not only that, it's like your resume already.
You have to have digital presence.
I'm hiring a lot of people right now and I'm checking also their social media accounts. Kapag nakita ko in your profile pic hubad ka or nagsisigaret ko, you have those people with you na parang dubious. Why am I going to hire you?
Yes.
Diba? We have...
It's the company they keep. Ganyan.
That's right, right? So you can also check if they are lying because of the consistency of their posts. So it became also your resume, it became your portfolio. Kaya for those people, if they're going to ask me, don't post anything that will backfire.
Yes.
Diba? Because it's your persona in social media.
But Miss Grace, having said that, with all your insights on digital, the landscape of online and how important digital space is. And you are very familiar with how to use specific online platforms. Pero ang tanong, anong nakain mo, Miss Grace, at nagpunta ka pa rin sa print?
So as I mentioned, I think it's 2021. That's just after pandemic. Not everyone knows that I work in Philippine Information Agency as a consultant and regional media coordinator and as a writer. That's during when I'm very, very active in construction. So I've learned so much about it, and actually my passion is really writing since high school. I'm part of the editorial board and I'm one of the columnists of different regional newspapers in Calabarzon in Region 4A. So it's really to express everything about what I'm thinking, my thoughts about human rights, about my advocacies. I blog. And I have my own blog before I even constructed my own website in US. I stayed in US for 7 years using HTML. Ito yung not user Ito yung not user friendly pa.
Hindi pa siya parang WordPress nun na templated na.
Ito yung from scratch. Really
May coding pa. So marunong ka mag-code?
I learned because I stayed in US. Wala akong magawa, something like that. I'm a housewife. So wala akong magawa, but I really, really like to reach my parents in the Philippines. So I do blogs. And then I became professional, I would say writer, when I work with Philippine Information Agency. During that time, into 2021, that's during pandemic, I told myself, ano kayang pwede kong gawin that I can also make a difference na hindi ko pa nagagawa. I keep on telling to my children kasi rin na do things that are harder, that not everyone are doing it. So eventually, I told my husband that I'd like to publish magazines. So it became Rising Tigers magazine, but I put also Nation Builders. So it's Rising Tigers and Nation Builders. And I had no idea it will work or we're going to earn from it. Basta ang main point ko is to disseminate the information because I'm from Laguna. I keep on telling that to everyone that all the news, everything, activities are always in NCR or Metro Manila. I want also at the same time to reach everyone, not just those people in Metro Manila but also in Laguna.
Which is your home province.
Yes.
Okay.
I want to mention also that I produced Laguna Blogging Summit for 3 years with 2,000 attendees. The main objective during that time in 2012 is to reach people in Laguna on what's happening in digital marketing. Because there are a lot of activities in Metro Manila with those big people as speakers like Chinkitan, like Pocholo de Leon Gonzalez, like the mother of e-commerce, Janet Toral. I invited them all in Laguna and they're there for free.
Again, you speak of digital, but your shift to print was brought about by your passion na. Kasi parang you came from the Philippine Information Agency, you are in touch and you want to focus on what's happening in Laguna to make sure that's not NCR-centric, di ba? How did these trends now affect you? I'm sure there are changes in circulation now, ads, distribution. So with all the changes brought about by social media, you have to reinvent something new with print. What is that?
Well, aside from the main objective, which is information dissemination, I I also like to fill the gap. There are very few companies and people who are into publishing, but then they are not widely circulated. If you're going to check our magazines right now, they are not just into big bookstores, but also in different gasoline stations. And if you're going to check also our titles, sometimes we're the only one there. Because we're into reaching more people, right? We're part of Tag Media Group. If you're going to check since 2010, where it's established, the main objective really is information dissemination. That's why we produce also a lot of shows, not only in Laguna, but also in NCR now. Those people who were deprived of news, kasi ang dami pa. I went to different parts of the country, hindi nare-reach even ng newspapers. I grew up actually where my father and my grandfather every morning are reading newspapers.
Yeah.
I grew up also with my mother buying those big names and titles na magazines. So it's not new to me. I'm blaming my parents. I'm not kidding.
What a good thing, you know?
I'm not kidding. Kami yung nakasakay ng jeep na nagbabasa ng magazines, nagbabasa ng comics. Kami yon. And even my dad, they're like, why all of you keeps on reading comics and magazines? Tagalog and English. I really love news. I really love fashion at the same time, you know. So I think it's really embedded in me.
Kumbaga lumalabas, print is in your DNA.
Hindi parang naisip ko lang. No, it's really with me.
It has always been there.
As what Steve Jobs mentioned, you can only just check everything looking back.
Na parang it was all part pala of who you will become.
I even told my husband, it's a blessing because those publications sometimes are closing down while we're putting up more. For me, we're not really into competing also at the same time. We're just working in our own network. If we can reach also some more, it's a blessing.
With that statement, are you not bothered or overwhelmed on the fact that some of the big companies, big names, even licensing firms stopped it and went into digital? So how are these things impact you?
We're very grateful with our print, but we're also very strong, I would say, in social media or online. We have our own website and also we have all those social media platforms. So being said that, you really need to be online or else print is just print. Of course, there's prestige, it's collectible, but kailangan mo ring sumabay dun sa iba. I have this friend who owns this very big newspaper firm, and she mentioned that the print for them is only 20%, then 80% is really online. But then again, she mentioned that even this big top 2 companies in the Philippines likes to buy their company. Ayaw nila because it's also about legacy. And also, of course, the brand, the title, it's there already. You really need to be in digital. Again, the digital has different target clients, and then the print has also
A different market.
That's right, because it's expensive.
Yeah.
Online is online. It's free, right?
Anyone can access it.
Everyone can be online.
What you are now explaining to us, Miss Grace, is that you have created a hybrid strategy. The print that we know before is so much different from the print business model now. As you are saying, it's really a mix. I see you mixing both print with social media, different titles, and even events, as you are very active in producing events and attending events as well. My question is, there are also reports, although sinasabi natin nag-shift na siya, nag-iba na siya, di ba? But may reports that the Philippine commercial printing sector still generates significant revenue. So, saan ba yan nanggagaling? Sa sponsorships or sa subscriptions? What are the business models now where entrepreneurs like you are banking on?
So what we're doing actually is also to bundle. That's why you mentioned that we're into events. We like to present also the different brands and featured leaders in our events to recognize at the same time. But then again, of course, people likes to hold something. With the digital, if you're not trending, wala ka. right? If there's only one feature about you, about the brand, and you put it in a platform that your target markets are not there, it will not grow. We used that before, I think in 2015, if I'm not mistaken. It's like this. We hired one influencer, and this influencer network are all the A-list. But the company is HR. So we hired, I think I paid 500,000 for him to be one of the ambassadors and to do tweeting. I'm the one even doing the content on Twitter. What he's just gonna do is just to publish it on his Twitter account.
Oh, parang lumalabas just the face and the name.
That's
and
right.
then what happened?
Right. So what happened, even though he's an influencer, maybe with 2 million following during that time, hindi siya nag-fly. Why? Because the target clients, the following of this person are not the target clients of this HR company.
There has to be a match then talaga.
That's right, that's right. And then what we did, we hired another person with the, I think, match yung following. It's not really about the influence of that person eh. It's the influence of that person with the right match of that company. Ayun, nag-fly na siya. Even though much lower following, pero match siya dun sa client.
There's a solutions fit, and that is what a lot of companies are looking, di ba? With those strategies, can you say that print is it a profit center, a brand builder, or both?
Profit center. We don't ask that much in terms of we like to receive this much, something like that. I don't want to compare us with those leading companies. If you're going to check also some of the leading companies, even franchise titles abroad, and it's not cheap. I'm sure it's super expensive because it's globally, right? The question actually is why, and while reading all those articles also online, it inspires me. If these companies are now with 10, 15 brands, 20 titles, and half of it are imported, why not me? To launch something like that also locally.
At Pinoy ka, di ba?
Homegrown.
Oh, homegrown.
Homegrown. I don't need to spend that much. Kasi I don't know if they're franchising it or they're the main distributor in the Philippines, but it's really that expensive compared to what we're doing. So if you're going to ask me about a profit-centric, for us in our needs for our employees, I think so. Yeah, and then for the brand, I think so also, because we did a lot of research with regards to the different brands also. The existing brands or titles in the Philippines, they're really putting also impact with regards to even luxury items. For us, we're also like to publish SMEs. We like also to help those quality brands that we like also them to reach those target clients under
So
them.
parang you're like a bridge or a connector, di ba? Parang you link, parang may market
We
link.
love to be the link. We love to be the connector.
This portion is brought to you by Pure Gold. Sa Pure Gold, always mura, always kompleto, always may promo, always panalo.
Be your own health advocate by turning into your own expert. We are your coach. Without any fiction and with lots of facts. Be active in a clever way. In good shape.
Ano ba yung printing economics ngayon? Like, ano na ba yung cost per issue? Para maging profitable ka, ilan yung somehow print run mo? Yung size ba? Kailangan bang ibahin mo? Ano yung break-even circulation mo? Ano ba yung mga bago ngayon na trends? Kasi yung iba namin nakikita, they somehow make it off size. Kasi daw, in the bookstores, it's different if you have a bigger size. Ganyan. So that when it's on the shelves, physically, they will notice you. But is that a trend? Yun ba? Napapansin pa? Uso pa ba yun?
For me, it must not be like that. Why? These bookstores have their standard size of shelves. If it is 10 inches, 12 inches, 14 inches. And if you're going to publish 15 inches, nakahiga ka ba? Gets mo, di ba?
Yes.
But then again, it depends also about your target clients. If they're really going to purchase your magazine, you have your own following already, they're going to buy it even smaller, even it's not standard, something like that. If you're going to check the leading magazines right now, iba't iba ng size. Minsan is 10 inches, sometimes it's 11 or 12. It depends. But for us, we're not going to do much bigger. Don't forget also that it's much expensive.
You have digital versions as well. You integrate print, digital, social, and events. So, yun ba talagang kailangan? It's a must na yun? So, kumbaga parang you cannot stand as just print alone, but as you mentioned, you have to be abreast with the times wherein you have to have all the other elements to make sure that you continue to thrive.
I don't want to, again, compare our company to others, but for us, we just want to give more platforms to our clients. Not only that, we even do a lot of things for them, like online marketing. We have a pool of writers with their own URLs. Like we have for the risk management, something like that. Not only producing shows bundled with the print magazine and then the online and also the website. We also have partners to give more a reach for our clients or for our own following. I keep on mentioning to everyone that we just like to utilize also what we have. And at the same time, for them to partner us so that they can also utilize our platforms. So it's really all about collaboration. If we're going to have TV like Open for Business, why not?
Okay, yeah, I remember you broached that idea before, which is very interesting. Since you're very knowledgeable and familiar with the social media platforms, is it a plus that you employ younger people? Like, for example, Andrea is a very active in the magazine and she's a young, who's very sharp and involved in a lot of topics and events as well. And as you said, you also employ in the younger market. I'm sure some of them belong to the Gen Z market. Ganun ba yung strategy na yun?
We're very, very new, just 4 years old. So if I can have all, why not? There are some vice president of this publication that I think in the company for more than 20 years and applying to join us. And then there's also this editorial team from this big newspaper company who likes to join us. So if I can hire those good people to contribute and to put value for Rising Tigers and our titles, why not? So if I can have all the generation, it's better.
Sino ba yung mga bumibili ng printed magazines ngayon? Are they older? Are they collectors? Are they professionals? Are they younger? And where do you distribute them? Where do you reach them?
I check actually the data and analytics with regards to the purchasing will and power of our readers. Right now, 35 years old up to 60 years old. So these are those people who are really capable to buy. Kasi the magazines are not mura. So we started at 499 because of course we check also the other titles of the other companies. So it's 499. We have also 599, then 750 and 799. And not everyone can purchase that. So with the 35 and 60, I think these are the people who has the power to buy these titles. So working people.
How do you process it? Is there a specific timeline na sinusunod ka rin or may technical procedures ba na ginagawa doon? Or katulad ka ng ibang CEOs na nakakausap ko din, may gut feel lang siya. Minsan walang research, but somehow there's that natural business acumen that makes them decide on the spot.
For me, with regards to all the titles, it's really about what I want to do best. It's very hard to put a health and wellness magazine you're not into health and wellness, something like that. And
Okay.
it's also about the people surrounding me. It's easier for me to get contents, to have my people attend events for the contents, and with all those people who are helping us, something like that. So one sample, like for the Rising Tigers magazine, the first thing also, aside from the information dissemination, is for the young leaders because it's Rising Tigers. But then again, there are people who likes to be featured to get in at the same time who are not rising anymore. So if you're going to check the first issues that we had, there's no nation builders before. But then there are some advertisements and also some of our clients who like to target also those big leaders. So that's why, based on our clients, because of those people that also wants to be featured, let's also put the nation builders. So these are like the top people, the top management. It's like combining both in one magazine, something like that. It's very hard for me to put up a car magazine. I'm not into cars.
Yes.
I don't want to say that, because people are earning from that kind of magazine, I'm going to put that. If I'm not into it, why am I going to establish one magazine? It's not easy to build even one. What more with the 4 and the upcoming another title? So it must be really, I think, the editor-in-chief and also the owner of the company, what you're really passionate about, that it's not like work at all. And don't forget, if you're an entrepreneur, you're always taking risks kung kikita ba yan or not. But if you're passionate on what you're doing, the same as what we're doing from the start, the information dissemination. With the Laguna Vlog, it's not all about learning. It's all about reaching the people in Laguna to have this kind of information from Metro Manila, who are very, very good speakers with that kind of talent that they can share. That's the main point. It's the same actually also with the magazines.
And then profit will come in later.
It's a blessing.
What does print still do well that digital platforms cannot replace?
We all know that 75 million of us are in social media, but as I mentioned, the very, very big difference is right now, some people, those niche market still want something analog or something that they like to hold or to keep.
Yes.
And to be there for a long time.
That's right.
If it's in social media, pag nag-viral, after that, wala na, pag natakpan, right? Especially with the current events, with the current news, natatakpan siya. And there's actually a lot of strategies also on doing that for online marketing. But then again, of course, there's not only with the prestige that you're featured or your brand is featured in print, but also it's something for the employment at the same time. That's why we're hiring more also, right?
And journalism is alive.
Very much
especially
alive.
now, di ba, in this day and age, especially with the many things that's happening in the country now.
Very much alive, since a lot of things are happening also, not just here in the Philippines, but globally.
Yeah.
With regards to print, there's also like a cultural quality that you can involve in. If you're going to compare both, in social media, it's very disheartening that people can also do like fake news. But if you're going to check print, it might not happen. Why? It's curated. There are people who are involved. There are writers, there are researchers, there's editor-in-chief, and then bago pa yan ma-print, 1 month.
Katakot-takot na proofreading and fact-checking.
For us, it's always like, must be coming from the source, even if it's online. Actually, I keep on telling to everyone, saan mo yan nakuha, something like that. That's why even umaga, even gabi, even tanghali, we do a lot of attending events outside, even if it's from the government, even it's from the lifestyle. With regards to print, it's very curated, it's well-planned. There are people who are in charge to make sure that it's relevant and to make sure that it's quality and to make sure that they are all based on facts. So that's one thing that I think we need to consider, and the advantage of having prints. There will not be fake news. With all the seniors right now, with all those like me, ang labo ng mata ko, with the AI that's happening right now and implementing with a lot of people who have dubious reasons, I don't know why they're doing that. It's very hard to distinguish if you're online. That's one advantage of having print. Then the second, it's about prestige. Each and every one of us can put somebody in a cover online, right? But in print, no, you're going to be the only one for the December 2025 issue. There's nobody. Unless we put like 3 of you, but it seldom happen, even with the different companies, right? It's part of history that you're going to be there for that period and you're the only one. You can put it up, you can even have it for your family, for your followers, for your company.
It's like a very credible resource material, and it is going to be part of history. Now, I think it is the time, Grace, for you to show us physically the magazines that you have.
Yes, I'm very, very happy to present and to showcase our magazine, the print magazine. Actually, I'm going to start with the recent one. So this is the one that I mentioned, the Exquisite.
Exquisite,
Yes,
yeah.
so if you're going to ask me with regards to the details of the paper, it's smaller compared with the 2 more titles that we have. Because for us, actually, it really doesn't matter as long as it will fit in the shelf.
Okay.
Yeah. So this is the Exquisite. So more on, we highlight also the top leaders in this generation. All of the titles actually is to inspire. If you're going to be part of the cover, it means to say that people likes to know you. It must be for the national consumption. We don't want to put somebody na, sino yan? Something like that. It must be inspiring. We check also, and we did a lot of research also, that there are still people who likes to see the best, where to go, the inter-travel.
So it
like
could be
that.
exquisite places, exquisite destinations.
It can be like that also at the same time. So if you're going to check the pages inside, there are a lot of top events also at the same time, like attending the different national day of the different ambassadors of the different countries. That's why the title is Exquisite International. And then the current events that I mentioned, it's all about Top News Asia. For Top News Asia, this actually, we're trying to be in a weekly magazine, weekly production. So if you're going to check also the size, there are a lot of international magazines with the same size, with the same thickness of the paper. So that's actually one of the things that we like also to establish. And it's easy to hold. And it's actually 54 pages because you don't want to read a lot of news.
Exactly, especially if it's weekly. Okay.
That's right, that's right. In Charge magazine actually is all about profiles. Again, don't forget, it's always to inspire, right? So In Charge magazine, profiles of the top leaders, whether they are artists, whether they are top management of a corporation, or from our government officials. For the In Charge, don't forget, inspiring. About the profile of the different featured leaders. The one that we're going to launch for January, we're also doing already the layout.
And these magazines are?
We're going to have the leading women.
Leading women.
So of course, with the title itself, all about women, the experience, their stories, and again, don't forget to inspire women.
And this is not necessarily from one industry. It could be leading women from different sectors, industries, different categories.
Yes, that's
so may
right.
showbiz dyan, may politics dyan.
Everyone, as long for women, something like that.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah.
Sige.
So the recent one and the first one that we established is Rising Tigers and Nation Builders. So we're very, very happy that we have our cover. Of course, one of the most influential in the Philippines, not just in the Philippines, but globally. So we have Ka Eduardo V. Manalo, the Executive Minister of Iglesia ni Cristo. Right now, we're very happy with the acceptance in social media and also in print. We gave him actually 10 pages inside to check also everything that he accomplished during his admin till now. Yeah, so we're very happy. Actually, with the current issue of Rising Tigers magazine, we actually made sure that everyone will have this. So it's not only just for December. We launched this December, but it says a special issue.
Okay, so it's special issue, so it could be ordered anytime. Like say it could extend.
It could extend. It can be 1 year in the shelf.
Wow.
Because usually, like for the different bookstores, if it's like sample lang January to February and then it became March, they will pull it out.
Oh, I see.
That's the reason why it's special issue.
Okay. What do you consider when choosing your cover story? Like, for example, why did you choose Brother Eduardo V. Manalo in your cover for December or for your special issue?
If you're going to check, since we started in 2021, the cover of our magazine, first thing is, as I mentioned, they're leaders. And then it's for national consumption that they're very well known because it's going to be nationwide, right? So with Brother Eduardo V. Manalo, I realized like during a lot of rallies going on, the board thought like, who's going to be the most influential right now, not just in politics, not just in different sectors in different companies. We really decided that it's going to be one of the most influential, making an impact in the society today, and that's Brother Eduardo Manalo. So we're very happy with the blessing. I wrote it with a 10 pages feature. We're very happy with the outcome. We're very happy with the acceptance of the readers. Even in social media, if you're going to check also, it's trending. It became viral. And I think if you're going to check other publication and other titles nowadays, even for a whole year, wala pa nag-viral, wala pang nag-trending, only this issue. So we're very, very happy that we put it also as a special issue because it's really special.
But Grace, for the record, are you a member of the Church of Christ?
No. I'm a Catholic. For me, it's not about religion. It's really those who are making an impact. And Brother Eduardo Manalo is really making an impact with the administration, with all the things that he did. And the rest of the church, it's very impressive.
We thank you, Miss Grace, for your admiration and for the respect that you give to the Executive Minister of the Iglesia ni Cristo. Any other unique experience that you had by featuring Ka Eduardo on the cover? You said it has gone viral. There's a lot of shares. There's a lot of engagements. And I remember you even posted from 400 plus views. Now you have 3 million?
We publish actually the release in our two online sites, the Top News Asia and Rising Tigers. With the Top News Asia, from 300,000 viewers, it became 3 million. Within that span that we launched the magazine or the news. While in Rising Tigers, from 500,000, it became 3.4 million.
Wow.
It's really very overwhelming. Not only that, with the national bookstores, they don't ask us or accept any delivery outside the weekdays. It must be just weekdays.
It's Monday to Friday. And then what happened with National Bookstore?
They called us Saturday to deliver on Sunday. I'm like,
wow.
And even our people, our team, we don't have Sunday. So I asked our team, can you deliver to National Bookstore? And then it's Sunday. So of course, it's Sunday. Wala namang pasok. We exerted effort to fill the need. Kasi sobrang dami raw na napupunta doon and umu-order at naghahanap. And not just buying one. So as in totally in bulk.
How do you feel now with the impact? I think this cover has made history also for Rising Tigers.
I think it's not just for Rising Tigers, not just for Top News Asia, it's for the whole Philippines. Every time, every day, the sharing and also the tagging pop up in our social media accounts, and then there are so many calls globally, like how they're going to receive like in Finland, in Canada, in US. So we're like, okay, we can do also courier, something like that. Parang sumabog tuloy the messaging in our social media accounts. So we need more people to check, and then it's actually the first time that the bulk of orders in Shopee. We have also placement in Shopee and Lazada, but it's the first time that every day, tapos naso-sold out. So that's why we ordered more. It's part of the history of our publication, and I think it's also part of the history in the Philippines. I'm not saying just because we have the Rising Tigers, but you can see it online, right? Every time that we keep on posting in our social media, siguro in 1 hour, baka may thousands likes na and shares. Not all those leaders that we posted, nangyayari yung ganun. So the impact actually is really big. It's undoubtful, as in totally, because it's there. The data can see it. It's not just that I'm saying it because I'm here in front of you. It's about data and statistics. They can check it, they can share it, they can research it. Because it's real, because it's true.
Okay, based on your experience, Grace, what's your short answer to is print dead?
No, it's very relevant. People still likes to get even one, and then it's going to be there for, I think, till the end.
This has been a great discussion. This has been a milestone for Rising Tigers and all your magazines, and also for Open for Business, because this is our second episode with you. And I admire your journey from the first time that we interviewed you here in Open for Business. I remember we were still at Studio 4 then. Now we're here at Studio 2, and we look forward. I congratulate you, Grace, for sharing your story. But before we let you go, where can people buy your magazines?
So we are very, very well placed in different bookstores. We are in national bookstores. We are in Fully Book nationwide. And also we are in Shopee and Lazada. And if they like to buy more, they can also go direct to us under this number, 0977-897-8877. And social media accounts.
Yes, your social media accounts are?
Yeah, Rising Tigers Magazine, Top News Asia, and Tag Media Group.
And don't forget the special edition, if you can show them again, the special edition of the Rising Tigers, featuring the Executive Minister of the Iglesia Ni Cristo Church of Christ, Brother Eduardo V. Manalo. Thank you so much, Engineer Grace Bondad Nicolas, the co-founder and COO of Tag Media Group.
Recognition platforms take many forms, and for many organizations and individuals, they serve as opportunities for visibility and acknowledgement. The Asia Leaders Awards is one such event, bringing together professionals, institutions, and organizations from various sectors for an evening of recognition. This year, Net25 is acknowledged as Philippine Television Network of the Year, while our president, Mr. Cesar Vallejos, receives the Man of the Year Media Award. Tonight, we look at how recognition events like this continue to play a role in today's media and professional landscape.
The objective from the start since 2010 is actually to promote the leaders, to promote also the Philippines to become the premier business hub in Asia through the stories of our featured leaders. Also for the information dissemination, and of course to inspire the Filipino people.
Yung Asia Leaders Awards kasi is sobrang close to my heart because this is my third award already sa Asia Leaders Awards. And our first collaboration talaga is when I did the musical direction for a concert at Aliw. Yun ang first collaboration namin with this awards, which is Asia Leaders. And from there talaga, ang motivation ko talaga is I'm more inspired because of this award. I'm more inspired to, of course, yung responsibility natin to elevate more pagdating sa music and the quality excellence in music because I'm a musical director and also a musical producer. And my aim is also to inspire the newer generation of musicians. So through this award, it will serve as inspiration din sa mga younger generation of musicians para mas galingan pa nila and to be the best in their industry.
I think this recognition will boost my motivation more on creating songs, and it's such an amazing opportunity to be recognized as the Next Gen Award because from the very start of my journey as a musical artist, naging purpose ko na po yung mag-inspire sa mga next generations, and alam ko na po dati pa na yung mga nagiging target audience ko talaga sa mga songs ko are kids, youngsters, or the Gen Alphas. So I hope I get to inspire them more to be real and stay grounded.
Well, substance for me is more of leading with integrity, leading with honesty, and inspiring people to live with a life full of integrity, honesty, respect, and passion to serve our countrymen because that's very important. When I say inspiration, I want to leave a strong message to the younger generation, of course, to live a life with modesty and respect. Passion, as I've said a while ago, integrity, because that's a very big word, especially in government nowadays, and of course, transparency. I am very, very much thankful for being awarded this Woman of Substance Award. And it inspires me to be a better person, and it inspires me to serve with integrity and honesty. Especially that a lot of issues are hounding the government nowadays. So this keeps me grounded and this keeps me on track, just neglecting the noise and just focusing on my job as a public servant. So that's what it means to me.
Grateful is the right word for that, and also honored because being recognized as a young leader, it's an honor not only for myself but also for the whole Savers Group Holdings. Leadership is more, I think the right word is being able to inspire other people. Inspire in a sense that you start to build the next set of leaders despite of age, despite of role, despite of any skill set. It's a matter of meeting and connecting with people. So being able to influence, being able to inspire people to take up the torch and also work towards a common goal, I think that's what defines a successful leader.
Yes, this is the first time you're hosting Asia Leadership Awards for Tech Media. They're very strong partners for the embassy. We constantly work together to have outreach programs that, of course, inform the public on the activities of the embassy, and we find them, of course, to be a developed news agency. At the same time, one of the reasons why we're very happy to support Asia Leadership Awards is actually recognizes some of the key players in Philippines for their leadership, for their contribution, and of course for their steadfast support for nation building. And that's the reason why the embassy and for myself, I feel that such projects should be encouraged. By actually honoring them, you're also providing them motivation for them to continue in their good work. And I think this award gives them the motivation to carry on. At the same time also, it allows the younger aspirants to also see how they can also use them as a role model and continue to contribute. So it's more than an award. And for me, it's a sense of recognition for the person involved, and secondly also as a motivation for future aspirants who want to create an environment where they can thrive in many areas. As you know, we need more leaders that are, I would say, consistent, structured, forward-looking, looks at sustainability, looks at environment, looks at community. Of course, leaders are built with integrity.
And our biz word of the week is CPM, or cost per thousand. It is a figure used in comparing or evaluating the cost efficiency of advertising schedules, determined by dividing the cost of the ad by the number of homes. And with that, our quote for the week is from Dr. Julian Novitz. He said, "Print isn't dead, it's just different." Maraming salamat sa iyo, Grace. Maraming salamat sa isang oras na pagsama sa amin, lalo na rin ang mga nanonood ngayon upang tunghayan ng isang makabuluhang usapan ukol sa negosyo dito lang sa Open for Business. Hanggang sa susunod na linggo, samahan nyo kaming muli dito sa Open for Business. Catch us too on Facebook and YouTube. Like and subscribe on our social media page at Net25 TV. We will bring you more insights from industry experts, thought leaders, CEOs, and featured SMEs. Together, let us help encourage business development in the Philippines. Sharpen your business acumen, feel the pulse, and set the trend for as long as you're informed and open for business. Ito po si Cesar Vallejos. Marami pong salamat and Happy New Year to everyone.